Hey everyone! If you don't know me, my name is Kelly. Thank you for following along with my page or for joining me today, even if you don't follow along with Light Creative. I guess if you don't know me, I'm an heirloom family photographer. I'm a newborn and family photographer focused on creating heirloom artwork for my clients in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I want to be here with you on video today to share some shifts that have been happening in my heart and in my business in light of that the last few months. And yeah, I've been kind of dropping hints here or there, or kind of putting out some smaller language about some things that I want to be working toward and some really tugs that I've been feeling recently, but I think it's really important to sit down for a little bit here and just kind of explain where my heart is at, where my mind is at, and what's going on. It also didn't feel quite right to try to like sit down and put this in a block of text. It feels a little bit more like deeper and heartfelt than that. Not that you can't put heartfelt things in words via text. But yeah, I just wanted to talk to y'all about this. I have had conversations about this. This sounds really vague, sorry. I've had conversations about this stuff with people, but not like openly in this public space yet. So here we are. So basically, I took some time a few months ago in October to sit down and really do some kind of high level thinking about my business and what I truly want to be offering to people with the kinds of photos that I take for you and for your families. I actually was doing this on my mom's birthday, or what would be my mom's birthday. She passed away from cancer when I was 21. And so that's this year, it'll be 13 years ago, if I'm doing my math right, long time ago. And anyway, having lost her, that's something that really influences and kind of informs the way that I show up for you guys in my business and the kinds of photos that I capture for you, because I really recognize like I'm not gonna have more moments with my mom, and that feels really sad. But I do have, some photos with her from when I was a child and kind of growing up in those young adult years. So I took some time thinking like, okay, what do I really want to be offering? And that goes beyond like a 1 hour session at a park, blah, blah, blah. But like at the heart, what do I want to be giving you? I want to be giving you the opportunity to revisit, well, currently capture these moments with you and your kids or your families in ways that represent like who you authentically are, showcases the relationship between family members, captures personalities, kids like goofy smiles before like their teeth all grow back in, or little things like that. And I'm not going to pause the video here because I just want you to see me in this authentic moment. Anyway, there's like all of these little fleeting moments, and so that's what I want to capture now. Bear with me. Years from now, with these photos are going to grow in value over time, right? Because these moments aren't going to be there anymore. I want to really give you the opportunity, and your kids the opportunity, to look back using these photos and recognize like what your lives looked like at that point in time. If you are a new parent with a newborn or a little baby, or if you're a parent with young kids, like you still know these moments are truly, really fleeting. They go by really fast. And oftentimes it's a blur too. It's hard to really remember what things were like. And I was just looking back at baby photos of my son. He's almost 3.5. And anyway, it's just like hard to just place myself back in those moments, but I try really hard looking at the photos that we have. Anywho, I want the photos that I capture your family to essentially be able to like time travel you back into those moments. And so I want them to represent your real life as much as possible. And that's kind of what I'm feeling a tug toward. So I can go out to a park with you, having helped you coordinate your outfits perfectly in beautiful evening light, and create beautiful photographs for you anytime. As long as the weather cooperates, like we can do that any day of the week. But what I'm feeling a tug toward is kind of stripping away the curated beauty of that, like the planning, the coordination, to kind of create these almost perfect scenarios, stripping that back to like, okay, but who are we really? You know, where do you actually spend your time? What are you actually wearing on a day-to-day basis when you're hanging out at home with your kids? What kind of like home environment are they growing up in? I think all of this stuff is really worth being documented and is really, really valuable for you to have now as a piece of art, but also in the future so that you can look back on these moments and know like, yeah, that's what life was like then. And it's really cool that you have that kind of glimpse backwards. Um, and all of this is kind of fueled because back to my mom, like I have these images of her and with her. And I was thinking last year on her birthday, when I was doing this kind of digging deep into my values, I was thinking like, if I had the opportunity to have more images with her, or if I all of a sudden found a bunch more pictures with her that I didn't realize I had, like what kind of photos do I really wish that I had more of? And it's just those everyday little things, you know, like that's what I feel like I'm missing for like, you know, as a child, I don't remember what things were like on a day-to-day basis. So I would really, really love the opportunity to have a peek into like, what did we do together on a daily basis? Did I help her fix breakfast? Did we play games together? Did we go out to a park? Yeah, these could still happen at a park, but you know, I I just I want to give you a better window and a better view into what your daily lives look like right now, because that's what I wish I had more of from my childhood and from my time with my mom. So I think that, yeah, I really, really want to be, or at least what I want to be trying out, is moving from a place of capturing curated beauty that was carefully planned. And this is important. Capturing curated beauty that was carefully planned and move more towards showing you how beautiful your real life already is. I want to show you how beautiful your real life already is. And when we are in the trenches of parenthood, it's really hard to recognize like the hard work that we're doing. We feel exhausted. We know it's hard. But there's also beauty in that. Like we don't get to see ourselves being parents very often. And so if I can come into your home and like show you what it looks like when you're fixing breakfast for your kids, or when you're sharing a meal together, or when you're like carefully putting together this little Play-Doh duck because that's what your kid wanted you to do. Maybe you are observing them at swim class. Like, I think that there's a lot of power in being able to have a third person point of view and like look in on your family and all of the beauty that's truly, truly happening there. So there is a kind of branch of family photography called documentary family photography. And what I've been doing for a long time now is lifestyle family photography. That's a couple like smiling at the camera photos, but a lot of interaction, a lot of capturing personalities and the relationship between people. And that's beautiful and I love it. And I'm not ready to give that up yet. But documentary family photography focuses much more on your real life. And it's less about like scheduling a session with me, choosing a date and time to go to a location and choosing what we're going to do while we're there, just interacting together. And more so, you are living your regular life. We are choosing a time for me to come join you alongside your regular life, join you in your home or kind of wherever you are in your daily rhythms that you want captured and document it for you. And there is so much less pressure with this. I think you're going to love this part. There's so much less pressure and stress about wardrobe. I want you to wear what you would usually be wearing for whatever you're doing in a given day. Less pressure for like an in-home session about what your home looks like. I don't really want you to clean up. I want your house to look like what it looks like on a daily basis. Toys everywhere because that's real life. It's real life that I want to be capturing. Perfect. Keep it. Yeah, I mean, it really feels like less pressure for my clients, and that's the feedback that I've gotten so far, because truly the only thing that I want is for you to be yourselves as much as possible. And those are going to be reflected in the images that you get, that I capture for you, because you know that you weren't pretending to be anybody that you're not, and you weren't in this environment that was unfamiliar. I really hope this video isn't going to be too long. Of course, I'm talking longer than I expected. Anyway, because you are in clothes and environments and doing activities that like you're accustomed to, I'm hoping that that realness will really, really shine through. So this documentary style is what I'm trying out kind of early this year, and am hoping to add on as a more formal offering throughout the year, but in the coming months in a more formal way. I don't know if that's going to be like different pricing or different collections or what that's going to look like yet. I want to put some thought into, I love doing the artwork, and I think that there's a lot of value in me providing heirloom artwork for you that's going to last for years and years. And I think that that lends itself well to being able to pass on these photos to your kids down the road. It also gets your images in print, so that like it's not left on you to figure out when to do that in your busy to-do list. Anyway, these are all the reasons that I always have for providing artwork for y'all. But I think that, I want to figure out what makes the most sense for artwork and maybe some more digital access for these photos. But anyway, lots to figure out. So that's where my heart is at. I want to provide you with more real, true to life photos with your families that really, again, represent who you are, really, really at your core. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm educating myself. I finished like an online self-paced class, like just a video series last month that I was going through. I have another one of those that I can go through at some point. And I'm also in a live workshop that meets weekly right now this month in February about this style of photography, the documentary style. And so like I'm digging in. I'm really excited to hear more about like how to do this well. And there's a lot of artistry behind it. And so I'm educating myself. I'm practicing. I have some sessions scheduled with families to just kind of go out and try this and see how it goes and get feedback from them. And I also have a couple of sessions coming up where I've asked families, like, do you want more of a lifestyle style or more of a documentary style? And so far, everybody has wanted a documentary style, which is really affirming for me. And I'm really excited about, and just hearing that like y'all love this idea too. So now that I'm creating this video, I'm excited to hear more of your thoughts around it. So yeah, I'm also kind of infusing some of these ideas into other sessions that I have coming up, like I said, with family sessions and also with my New Life collection sessions with babies. We do their milestone sessions, newborn, 6 month, 1 year, and maternity prior to that typically. And so I'm kind of figuring out ways that I can infuse a little bit more like real life moments in those as well. And I'm also getting feedback. So feedback on those artwork pieces and digital kind of collection options or a la carte options like I have been doing, and feedback from just families that I'm able to chat with and see like what's working, what do you really want, like what's missing from this experience that you might want in the future. So yeah, a couple more affirming things that I have been noticing real quick. So those classes that I mentioned, like the self-paced kind of video series classes, I actually purchased those online, not this past November, but the November before that, so 2021. And those are like based on family storytelling. And I hadn't watched them until like this past month. So this is something, it's almost like my brain was ready, like, oh yes, I want to learn more about this, before my heart was ready to catch up. That was like a full year ago before I really like started exploring this as an option. So anyway, I thought that that was really cool. I feel like, well, yeah, I'll get back to that in just a second. And so, yeah, really cool that I already had those like classes, the video series that I could go through. And also when I think back into like my early photography work and the kinds of things that I was capturing, I can just think in my head. I haven't looked any of them up, so I can't share them with you yet. But I'm thinking of some key photos that I took that I very clearly remember, and I clearly remember loving them, that were more in this kind of documentary style vein. And I took those photos before I was ever, like, nobody had paid me for photos yet. I was just playing around with my camera and taking photos for fun. And there was no expectation for what images I thought people would want me to be taking for them. So there was no outside influence. And I think that that's a lot of kind of what this process is about too. Like, as I'm wanting to capture your real life, I'm really, really trying to strip down to at my core, like, what kinds of images do I think I want to be capturing for you and am here meant to be capturing for you, ignoring all of like anything else that other photographers are doing out there. I am learning from other photographers, but like I am trying to discern what am I here to do for you. There's lots of photographers out there. This isn't meant to be shade for any like shade to anybody or off-putting for any other photographers, but there's lots of photographers who can, you know, capture you smiling at the camera and get great photos. But I'm just trying to figure out like what makes me uniquely able to capture images for your family. What is my unique offering for you? And what am I really meant to be doing? So anywho, I think that those things from my past, those early images that I captured, and also just the fact that I bought those courses about this a couple of years ago, it feels like things are really coming more in line. Things are becoming more aligned between maybe what I'm offering for you guys and my values deep at their core, which is just very, very exciting. This obviously a very long video. Thank you for bearing with me if you're still with me. I really just wanted to fill you in on kind of what's going on here. Again, there's things that I had kind of hinted toward or mentioned here and there, but wanted to give you a little bit more foundation about like what's happening now, what things might look like moving forward, what I'm working on this year as far as adding this on as an offering. Business is still happening as usual. I'm still having sessions. I'm still making artwork for people, which I love. So I'm really, really excited to see kind of how this works into my offerings, and where things go from here. So if you inquire about a session soon, I'll probably ask you if this kind of thing is the kind of style that you're looking for. And that will probably be easier for me to provide some more context in the coming next couple months. Because I will have some photos to share with you as examples that I've taken from my sessions coming up. So let me know if you have questions. I'm happy to chat about this, either just in the comments or DMs, or let's hop on a phone call. Let's chat, whether that's about your own session or just to kind of talk about this new style that I'm exploring. I would love to get your feedback, and thank you again for joining me and hearing all about this.